touchdown, Ohio State strikes first.
It cracked his helmet.
Henderson breaks free. House call for Ohio State. The Buckeyes can begin planning for Pasadena. There is Smith roaming free. Breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly. Caught in stride. Abuka touchdown. Buckeyes on fire. It's a Crimson avalanche here in Pasadena. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Ohio State scoop and score. Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. And Ohio State, who's going to walk out of Atlanta national champions.
The story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. There's a lot of people that counted us out. It's the reason why you get into coaching, to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams.
College football national champion Coach Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Seven to 9, Ohio State bullies the Wolverines in the big house. The Ryan Day nonsense talk is over. This program is not soft. Michigan is in the rearview mirror, and the 4-game winning streak by the Wolverines has been snapped by a dominant Buckeye performance. It could have been way worse. Way worse. I saw a comment that said Michigan had their chances to win this game. What game were you watching, sir? You didn't score a single point in the second half. So stoked for Ryan Day, Rob.
Yeah, you mentioned the 4-game winning streak by the Wolverines, but you know what's better than the 4-game winning streak? A 8-game winning streak, and they didn't. Hey, you know what? They got half though. They got half, so I guess that matters. But dude, you know what? We've been preaching about this all season. I've been preaching about it all season. Ever since Michigan's pompous acts, such as planting the flag after their win in the big house. In the shoe. Ryan Day has been a different coach. He's had a different look in his eye. He has been on an absolute tear, a generational run. They had a generational run through the playoffs, won the national championship, and he came in with this new sense of confidence, finding himself as a complete head coach. And they haven't lost a game since that moment. So thank you, Michigan. Due to your pompous acts, Ryan Day is now Cocaine Day, and he's showing absolutely no mercy. He's on a different level as a head coach.
Evil Ryan Day has emerged, man. He's not looking back. He's not looking back. The insecurity is gone. The confidence versus Michigan is there. I mean, speaking of that, how about the 4th and 5 shot to Jeremiah Smith, man, for the touchdown? My goodness. That may have been, I have to check, but that may have been the very same play that won us the national title versus Notre Dame and sealed the game. I'm not sure that it was, but I think it may have been.
It could have been, but dude, when I saw that, I'm like, dude, we're winning this game, man. This is not your typical, 4-game losing streak Ryan Day. This is that new sense of confidence Ryan Day, the national championship winning coach Ryan Day, who has been gone on an absolute tear. And dude, that 4th and 5, man, I was like, dang, like what? I wonder what they're going to do. They're probably going to go to Jeremiah Smith. They probably see an opening on the outside, and he completely put Zeke Berry on skates, broke his ankles, made him fall over. You named it. It happened, and he waltzed into the end zone, man. Like it was. I'm like, dude, that's the Ryan Day I've been waiting to see in this game for quite some time. Was waiting for it last season, but you know what? Again, like he needed to be woken up, and I'm like, dude, we're not losing this game. But honestly, like I got nervous at first, man.
Yeah, I was puckering.
That big run by Jordan Marshall. I'm like, okay, they made him settle for a field goal, and then Julian Saint threw the interception. They got it back. I'm like, then they had to kick another field goal. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna win this game. It's just like my worry meter went from here to here after they didn't capitalize off the interception. I'm like, dude, they're not getting the end zone. They had 2 opportunities. They've been in the red zone like 2 or 3 times, and they couldn't do jack squat as the field shortened.
They had the opportunity to go up 10-0 and really put some panic into Buckeye Nation. I already was panicking, but on the third play of the game, we throw a pick and set them up perfectly. Giving the crowd life, man. Let's be honest, man. We let that crowd stay in the game a little too long, but we end up silencing them. But I mean, daggone, man, 40-20 in terms of time of possession, just dominated that. And something you've mentioned all season long, Rob. It reared its head again. The third down stat. Ohio State defensively only allowed one conversion on 9 third down attempts for the Wolverines. One, because Bryce Underwood can't read the defense. And two, because we spied Bryce Underwood so well and got them in some third long situations. I think that was the factor on why Ohio State won the game.
Hey, you know what? Caden Curry did say that all we had to do was make Bryce Underwood play quarterback. Oh yeah, I thought we haven't seen a freshman like him. I thought it was over for Ohio State. Dude, that has to be such a humbling moment for
Yeah.
Bryce Underwood. But going talk. Let's stay to the point that I've been preaching all year. That third down stat. Michigan was 1 for 9 on third down. Now their time possession was between 19 and 20 minutes. Dude, that they held on the ball. If you divide that into 4 quarters, they had the ball between like 4 minutes,
Only a third. Yeah.
4 to 5 minutes a quarter. And dude, the biggest disrespect in this game to me was Ohio State went on a 20 play, I think it was 12, 13-minute drive, dude. Michigan
Yep.
didn't have they had the ball for like a minute or two during the fourth quarter. How the tables have turned. And you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They've been playing like that all season, man. That third down stat, defense suffocates the offense. Their defense gives their offense more possessions. Day realizes that he doesn't need to score in 1 to 2 minutes, and they've been churning the clock out with these
Yeah.
8-minute drives, 9-minute drive. But dude, that was the longest drive this season, and such a great time to do it. There's no more deserving team than Michigan to get the ball shoved down their throat.
Little taste of their own medicine on a 21-play drive for Ohio State, capped off with a touchdown, man. It was phenomenal. And saying, I'll give him his props, man. Offensively, he got everybody involved. All 3 starters got a touchdown. Ennis, Jeremiah Smith, of course, and then our third wideout as well, Carnell Tate, man. He just spread it around him. X-Claire had a big day too. So it's just like saying was immaculate after that first pick. I got so many texts after that first interception rolling in my phone, blowing it up. Oh, Ohio State played good versus everybody else at Michigan. What does Ohio State do? Crap down their leg versus Michigan, and saying I knew was not going to be rattled. I knew it, man. I said, that's a horrible start. Couldn't ask for a worse start, both offensively and defensively, if you ask me, except they got stiff in the red zone. But saying proved that mental toughness, man. He's not rattled. He has that poise, and he plays with confidence, man. He forgot it. He forgot that pick, and he bowled out the rest of the day. 3 touchdowns for Ohio State, and that was the first time Michigan has scored that few points, under 10, the first time since 2010 when we beat their booty 37-7.
Yeah, speaking of Julian Sane, he finished for 19 for 26, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns. And dude, he came back like a champion after that interception. Didn't phase him, didn't rattle him. And you know what? The silencer was, and you know what? That shot to Carnell Tate, and dude, that was the exact same play that was ran in the Rose Bowl, but it was the opposite side. When so remember in the Rose Bowl when Will Howard rolled to the left, he looked back and then he threw it down the right side of the right sideline to Jeremiah Smith.
Yep.
Dude, Julian Sane rolls to the right. The distraction's over there. He looks left and fires it down the left to Carnell Tate, dude. Great game plan, great execution, and just to me, that was the silencer, dude. That it was a wrap from there. And I think it just completely took the wind out of that stadium. I think Michigan fans knew that we're not winning this game, man. We can't do jack diddly on offense or anything, dude. Talk about a Mickey Mouse offense, man. I mean, dude, like, and you know, I'm not gonna be nice about the Bryce Underwood thing because you know
No,
they talk so much smack when they got
no.
him. It's over for Ohio State, and dude, even Underwood said it was over for Ohio State when he was interviewed the Rich Eisen show. But dude, these Michigan fans thought this dude was gonna come out year one, be their savior, the next Trevor Lawrence, and just the complete opposite, man. I mean, dude, he all those check downs, man, letting his receivers or running back get completely blown up. I mean, he finished the game 8 for 18, 63 yards, one interception, dude. Him and Andrew Marsh connected 0 times, man. And you know what? I
Yep.
heard the real number 4 reside in Ann Arbor. No, the real number 4 resides in Columbus, Ohio, and he'll be residing in Columbus, Ohio next season.
Yep. We got one more of that connection, man. Saying to Smith is going to be lethal, let alone who else is coming in, man. I'll tell you what, man. Ohio State won the rushing battle. I didn't know Bo Jackson had a stutter step, man. We haven't seen that from him all year, unless I'm forgetting it somehow. But it's been pretty freaking that we run between the tackles this year under Day and Hartline's offense. But we ran off tackle a lot that versus Michigan. That was a wrinkle. That was
Ye-
absolutely a wrinkle that Michigan was not prepared for. And he drew defender after defender out of their cleats, finishing with over 170 yards of offense, did Bo Jackson.
Dude, that run to the right side where it looked like they had him dead to rights, and he stutters, waits for an opening, and then goes, dude, down the
Yeah.
right sideline all the way down to the one, dude. That was that was just a masterpiece right there. And you know what? It's good because, dude, Ohio State has a lot of speed. You know what you do with speed? You get it into space. And you know what Michigan's weakness is? The perimeter
Yeah.
game, dude. That's been their problem the last 2 years, and they haven't figured it out. They haven't figured out on how to stop all these athletes on the perimeter. They haven't figured out their secondary, and as long as they don't do that, dude, they're not. I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. I don't, and I don't want to hear about how Ohio State won because they won the rushing battle. This is, dude, the run game was there when they needed to be there in terms of we don't need to score anymore. We're just going to churn out the clock. They won through the air. All 3 touchdowns were through the air. I don't want to hear anything else. The run game was needed because they just need to run out the clock. They weren't trying to score or anything. They're basically saying to Michigan, this game is over. We don't need to pass anymore. You're not doing anything on offense. So we're just going to run the clock out. That's it. We're not trying to do anything special.
I mean, it was still effective because we haven't been able to run the ball like that against anybody this year, except
Uh,
Rutgers and UCLA.
dude, all I'm saying is like they won through the air. They got all their touchdowns through the air. They used the run game just to run the clock out, dude. They weren't trying to do anything special. Now, if they were trying to, run the ball and get to the end zone, like Michigan was clearly trying to rely on before Jordan Marshall got hurt, then yeah, I'd say, you know what, we won this game because of the rush battle. Like, no, dude, we won this game because played to their strengths: quarterback, receivers, speed, getting our athletes out to space.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Day finally called a game with some confidence. It sure started out shaky, but he put a statement down. The Wolverines were never in this game in the second half. It was just 10-9 at halftime, but the Buckeyes scored 17 unanswered points, man. And defensively for Ohio State, we weren't on the field that much. We were only on the field for 20 minutes. So, I mean, a third of the game, we didn't have massive stats, but Igbinosun with the pick to seal it after 2 PIs early. Sonny Styles had 6 tackles. He was our leading tackler for the day. And then Cade McDonald at D tackle, man, he had 5 tackles, disrupting what Michigan was trying to do, running the football, man. He had a monster game in limited snaps.
Yeah, do that.
So,
And then the Igbinosun interception to cap it off. And you know what, man? Screw, dude. He ripped off his helmet, celebrated in the end zone because he could, man. Probably heard all that trash talk all off season
Oh
about
yeah,
how he can't do this. He draws too many pass interference calls. He's not a true corner, and you know what? Good for him for sealing the game
yep.
and
He's had some big picks for us.
letting Ohio State do victory formation to end the game.
That was amazing, man. And I'll be honest, I wanted another touchdown in the last 6 minutes there. It didn't work out that way, but I'm okay with 27-9 as well. What'd you think after the game? Ohio State went and celebrated with their fans in the corner of the end zone and hopped up, kind of like the Lambeau leap they got going on there. That was kind of sweet. And Michigan stayed on the field to protect the logo for some reason. Ohio State fans or Ohio State players were not engaging. There were none around, yet they kept sitting there. And they said in the post game interview, I didn't see who it was, but he said, "Yeah, if they tried to start something, and we were going to be there to make sure it didn't happen." And I said, "Wow, yeah. Well, we don't stoop to your low class, no class level and pull us some punk moves on an opponent's turf." Like Michigan's done the last 2 times I've been in Columbus. No, we've beaten you in your stadium plenty of times this century. We don't have to pretend like we haven't, like you guys did. So, y'all some punks. You're gonna stay some punks, and you're gonna keep losing to Ohio State because
Yeah,
y'all some punks.
to me that was the best defense that Michigan played all game, man. Trying to defend the block M, but you know what, dude? You should have defended it during the game.
Yep.
See, that's what tells me that the culture is completely whack at Michigan under Sharon Moore. It seemed like they were just there to be chippy and confrontational.
Yep.
They were looking for a fight after the game because they didn't even put up a fight during the game, dude. That is the culture under Sharon Moore, and I don't want to hear anything else, dude. Barham head-butted the ref, dude. He's lucky he was not tossed, but from what I heard, which I mean, showing the ref what was going on or not, the moment you contact a ref is the moment you get a flag drawn, a personal foul drawn. But so he was just showing the ref what they were doing, but still you don't contact a ref like that. But
I've never seen a player make contact with a ref and not get tossed. I'll just put it like that.
yeah, but the story was that he was just demonstrating to the ref like what they were doing to him, and just like, still, you don't do that. But just like, this is undisciplined football. I mean, a good amount of dude. Did you notice more towards the end of the game when I think they probably realized that they weren't going to win, so they're like, you know what, F it. You know what, we're gonna get confrontational. We're gonna cause some scrummages, and that's what happened. There were more personal foul calls on sorry, there were more personal foul calls on during this game, the second half, than we have had any other game that we've seen.
There were a
It's because
lot.
Michigan, they knew they weren't going to win, so they're like, you know what, we're going to put up the fight some other way.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't defend their midfield, or they couldn't defend their end zones, man. So they tried to defend the M and the block M at the end of the game, but it was too little, too late, man. The Buckeyes dominated it, 27-9. Now we're on to the Hoosiers, Big Ten championship week with everything on the line. Glad to have a Michigan victory behind us. It feels really good, man. It feels really good. I'm gonna try and be humble about it, but I can't help myself sometimes.
For the first time since 2020, they will be playing in the Big Ten championship game. Now, we'll do a video of that later on, but
Sure.
I hope they get this done, because you know what, dude? If Ohio State has the perfect season, man, that would be such a big talking point, not only to rivals, but to all of college football.
Would be tremendous, man. Got the gold pants, got the job done in Ann Arbor. That'll do it for this one. Go Bucks and God bless.
OH.
I-O.